Welcome to Harvey Dent's Fact Finder, and tonight I'm going to take you on a tour of the hollow streets of Sacramento. Thanks to the city of Sacramento's building planning department's prompt response to my email requesting information about these underground structures, we have the information that they got in their survey back in 2009. Yeah, see, back in 2009, they paid to have a survey done of these underground structures. They call them the hollow sidewalks. Look, the area they surveyed covered a 14 block length by a 3 block width. Yeah, they paid for a survey to be done back in 2009. Well, you know what surveys are done for, right? It's to tell you what's there because you have no idea what's there. So this block, this area, was their survey area. These are the addresses, the parcel numbers of buildings or structures that have substructures beneath them. All of these addresses have substructures beneath them, and all of those addresses are in that rectangle. So I'm going to go over a few of the more interesting pictures here, but the link is down in the description if you would like to view this survey for yourself. Now notice they give years of when the streets were raised. Yes, years of when the streets were raised, but they don't give years of construction of these buildings. I mean, if the gold rush brought all the settlements and all the people to this area, then who built these brick structure that the area was raised above? The hollow streets, the hollow sidewalks, you can see where the pillars separate the sidewalks from the streets. Right here. Oh, this building just happened to be owned by the state of California, of course. So all the buildings that had access to these sites were owned by state of California or friends of state of California, people that could keep the secret. Now the buildings are all run down, worn down, about to be torn down, and this history beneath them is crumbling and going to be torn down as well. Look at the amount of brick it would have taken to cover that area in structures like this. The area it's an underground city. They're all connected. You can't tell me that individual owners raised their building up, in some cases, 14 feet and made a point to ensure that their neighbor still had access to their bottom front door. The claim that these brick structures were built as support for what would be the new elevation city is ridiculous. Look at the amount of brick it would have taken. How could they have gotten that many supplies to that area? Trains were not even going to that area until the late 1890s. We're talking about 1860. Oh, great. Look who just happens to be the owner of this building, the Church of Scientology. Well, as much as these parasites love to make money, love to turn things into attractions, why would they not have taken advantage of having control of all of the buildings that had these structures within them and underneath them? Why would they not open that up as Old Town Sacramento tours? Why would they not profit off of that? Why did they not do anything to try and preserve this site? They basically left the site wide open to just be demolished. Most of the buildings in that area have, they all have these substructures, and they've all been just worn down and vacant, and had homeless people in them, end up catching fire and destroyed, and they all had these substructures, and it was just allowed to happen. Yeah, they had a survey done of it, but why would you have a survey done if you've known it was there the whole time? There's this official building records, right? There's city construction. They didn't know they had to have a survey. So this whole system, this whole underground system network of brick buildings, which were, who knows what it was before, they never even attempted to salvage. They wanted every opportunity they had to let it just be taken over by nature or homeless. They did, And now I'm sure that none of these brick structures look anything like they do in these pictures. I'm sure that they are all crumbled messes, just like what I stumbled upon. Look at that. You're talking 9-10 feet of headroom. Who builds a substructure that high and then puts something on top of it? And expects every neighbor in his neighborhood to do the same thing. Well, that's what they say happened. I kind of hate to have to be the one to point it out because it doesn't really take a genius to see that there's more building to this structure than meets the eye. Otherwise, the brick would not look like it was cut through the floor. So how much more building is there? Is that not a poured concrete floor? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a poured concrete floor, which would lead me to believe that there's more underneath. Because look at that pillar. Why does that pillar look like it is, has partial bricks in the ground? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right outside that perimeter area that they say they surveyed and see if there's any signs of these structures beyond that area they surveyed. If there is, then there's no doubt in my mind that the people that claim to have built this city are not the people that built this underground city. Look at how old yet well preserved some of the brick is. Look how old and worn down some of the brick is. But look, this was built as a street retaining wall with a poured concrete floor. See, because this is construction in the mid 1800s. This is, what they did. This is why stuff was built to last. See, because they would mine all day, and then at night they would have to come and bake bricks. Because, yeah, if they weren't mining, then they were baking bricks because someone had to bake all the bricks for this shit. So in 1860 or before, they had all the time to build all these brick structures, had all the means to get all the supplies there to build all these brick structures, and then had all the supplies and all the means to get the supplies there to build the streets 14 feet higher. This is all about the same time around the gold rush and the time that the Capitol building is being built right after a flood, so no one would have their own property to tend to. So it was John Sutter Jr. and all the enslaved Indians and the miners that did all this brick work and then raised the street levels up. I mean, these are not feats that can be done in this day and age in a decade. Yet these people did it in the 1860s, in year after year, just completion after completion, leaving whole levels like this underground. There's definitely more building to that there. Would you not agree that there's more building to that there? Funny, they still had to access the waterways that the previous inhabitants had developed because they were too stupid to develop their own. Yeah. Look at this. I mean, this is buried, man. This is buried history. Buried, and they hoped it was forgotten history. This is what that site looked like before I saw it. This is what the site looked like when they first tore down that building. And this is what they let it turn into. They want it and the buildings around it to crumble because it will erase any remaining proof there may be that there were people here before the 1800s. A civilization probably much more advanced than we are in many ways, a lot more in tune with who they were supposed to be. Unlike us, something made them leave. Their history buried. They're now hollow sidewalks. So 1864-65, they claim construction began on raising the street levels. Well, this picture from the Capitol construction is from 65, and I don't see any work being done on street levels. Do you? Do you see anything that looks like it's underground being worked on? What about over here on this side? You see anything that looks subterranean, underground? Looks like they're making hollow sidewalks anywhere? I don't see any hollow sidewalks. But I do see a hollow staircase. Oh, and some boo-boo stains. Yeah, I see some boo-boo stains, but is that a hollow staircase is leading to the actual, what was the first level? Is that water damage or flood damage? How does a building that is newly constructed look so old?